Hey everyone, welcome back to my workbench. Oh, and some annoying lighting there. This is back on the Nomad. Screen doesn't actually look that washed out. It's just I have a really bright LED light behind me. So it's like this, you just pick up the LED light. But apparently with what I suspected was the hello everyone. What I suspected was I need to pull off the 5-volt line and ground off of different parts on the board. Luckily, the easiest place to do that is right after the 5-volt regulator. There's right here, right above where the main 5-volt regulator's here. Between here and here, you get 4.97 volts, which is the what we need. I'm actually running the screen before it hits that 5-volt regulator, but the problem is the VCC that's controlling the VCC means voltage common collector. The VCC that's going into the joystick controller. Turn this off. Going into the joystick controller just doesn't have enough oomph to run it. The interesting thing is I've already done this. I'll check the continuity, make sure it actually worked. You can pull up the VCC pin on that chip and it'll still work, but see, yeah, I gotta break that contact, I think. Yeah, still making contact there, so I gotta pull that up. So I'm gonna go through tonight and pull up that pin again, and then step by step I'm gonna hook up 5-volt line, the ground, and like one direction at a time. I go up, down, because on the DB9 it goes up, down, left, right. I think then B, C, select, and then ground, if I remember correctly. But the select is the important line, of course, because it allows the controller to only have 9 lines, but a lot more buttons than that. So, let me grab where is my microscope? Here's right in front of me. This is a new computer setup. I actually bought an old iMac for doing some video work. It's kind of nice because it's just all I gotta do is have the. Why is it still some continuity there? Oh, well, maybe it isn't. Let me take a look. Get over there. It's a much neater setup, which I like. I don't have to deal with a separate monitor. Before I was actually working on it's a regular monitor with a little Zotac PC on the back, which it's not a bad setup. And technically, I think it's actually a little quicker than this one, but this one's a little more convenient. Yeah, I don't actually see continuity there. Alright, let's take a look one more time. Oh, this EyeSight camera is the best 2009 had to offer, yes. Let's see, that is there. Okay, so there isn't continuity there. Good. Pin is up. Alright. So I pulled the VCC pin up, which is pin 24. I pulled that up. So now I'm going to go through and hook up. Well, for now I'm going to go with an ugly, I wouldn't say ugly, but very utilitarian connector, DB9. Guess everyone knows why they're called a D. They look like a D. A sub D9 is the technical term, I think. There's also minis and micros. I'll put this aside just a minute. This is nice to work with because there's little solder cups on there. Helping hands. There you are. Because I only have 2 hands, it's much easier to do it this way. There's one. One's in the upper right. Well, upper left, depends when you flip it over. There's actually numbers on here to let you know which one's which. So I like using what's known as IDC cable, which is this. This is rainbow, so you can easily know which pin is which as long as you know the remember your color codes. They're identical to resistor color codes: black, brown, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, gray, white, black. Though in resistor color codes, black is 0. It's a really naughty way to remember your color codes, and that's bad boys rape our young girls, but Violet Gills willingly. So I learned that from my high school physics teacher. Yeah. I don't think he's on this world anymore. Maybe he's still alive. I don't know. I don't know if he's still alive or not. Real smart guy. But that's how I always remember it. And so I like using this rainbow cable so I can keep track of what's what easily. You know, brown is 1, red is 2, etc. So there's some people that use this all one color wire, and that would drive me mad, to be honest with you. This is exciting. I'm just stripping back a little bit of wire. I'm not too much of a China basher. A lot of good stuff comes out of there. Except I don't really like their hand tools all that much. I like American-made hand tools. Just from experience. I got American, my wire stripper there's American-made. My quite a few of my screwdrivers are American-made. They just seem to hold up a little longer. I don't know if it's the metallurgy or what. Not that awesome stuff doesn't come out of China. It's just occasionally I prefer my hand tools. I do like American and Japanese make capacitors. Start with one. So I'm going to build up this whole cable here, and then I'm going to start wiring it in. I'll do the power and ground first. I also did get in the authentic, thank you Clint for sending this to me. This is an authentic Sega controller. Yeah, the funny thing is, I never had a Sega Genesis growing up. I actually never even had a Nintendo growing up. We had a Master System. Well, we started, of course, with the Atari 2600, and then we went to the Master System, and of course the Atari 8-bit computer, the 800XL, and then we had Atari 7800 concurrently with the Master System. Master System, much better system. No competitor at all, actually, to the problem with like the 7800. It was really, even when it was released, it was decade-old technology, so no way you can compete against the other systems, even the original Nintendo. Though I've been playing some of the original Nintendo games under emulation. Ooh, it's pretty rough in terms of like graphics and sound. I mean, some games are okay, but a lot of them is like, ooh, this is barely better. I mean, worse than the Master System. Master System just had much better graphics, a lot more pleasing color palette to me too. Oh, my helping hands are feeling weak today. But anyway. Thought everyone would appreciate actually seeing what I look like. It's just a midlife white guy doing this. I'm very surprised though how few. I'm still getting quite frequent requests for doing more mod work, and it's kind of need a break for a while after this. And I'm just a little disappointed with the younger generation. It's like, come on, learn some soldering, get off your Arduinos, and actually do some real electronics. I mean, there isn't a place for that kind of programming, but sometimes you need to get down to the hardware, guys. Like the actual, like, get in here and solder and understand how these old systems worked. There's more to life than Python. There's actually kind of an interesting solder tip. It's got a slight curve on the point on purpose. It makes it much easier to get underneath. I thought I would have to get underneath that leg. Oh, thank goodness my eyes are still okay. Oh, this is not agreeing with me today. I'll get some erectile dysfunction going on here. Okay. Stay. See, that looks like crap. I'm very, very picky with my own solder work, almost to a fault. If you ever open up one of my systems and I do a recap, I want to make it so you can barely tell it was ever recapped. I like every solder joint as close to factory as possible. I don't like cold joints. That's probably why I still use leaded solder. Getting back to young people, it's like, oh, come on, there's a lot of work out there. I work a full-time job. I mean, I don't want to have to think about trying to support my family this way, but boy, if you want to make some good money, get in there while retro is still hot. Sorry if I offended the makers out there who work on their Arduinos all the time, but there's more to that. I mean, I use Raspberry Pis all the time, but I don't claim to be the reason I call myself as an engineer is because back there on the wall, over there, is actually my degree. actually had to study this stuff for years. Oh, I got it relatively cheap compared to some of the kids nowadays. I mean, I got my degree only cost me what, 43,000? Yeah, I think that was how much it was in the end. Yeah. I don't even want to think how much it costs now. I'm guessing 80, 90, maybe more, depending on what school you go to. On the other hand, in the last 22 years, I've been out of work 3 days. So, if you want some job security, doing interesting work, I highly recommend electronics engineering. Not that you need a degree in electronics engineering to do retro mod work. That's relatively straightforward work, unless you're doing like some low-level programming. I really admire the guys who actually, women who program for these old consoles like the 5200 and stuff and the Jaguar to eke out great new games out of that quite limited hardware. Is impressive. Even back originally, what they were able to accomplish, the programmers. Like a whole, what, 2600 game is what, 1K, 2? It's crazy. I think even the biggest game is maybe 4K kilobytes, 4096 bytes. That's not even like the size of it, like an IP header. Okay, so the wife called, so I need to do something here. I'll upload this for now and continue working on it. So for now, it's been 17 minutes, and everyone, thanks for watching. And next time I come up, you should see at least a few wires wired up. Talk to you everyone later. Bye.